I'm not in control of my husband. I'm not in control of his children. I'm not even in control of my child. He's his own person.
You know, when she goes on television, Fox, they dominate. They dominate when she gets up there with that beautiful face and those lips that don't stop. How's Karoline doing? Is she doing good? Should Karoline be replaced? No.
That's up to you, sir.
It'll never happen.
Should Melania Trump be worried right now? Because people are openly saying Donald Trump is allegedly having an affair with Karoline Leavitt, and that Melania didn't just sit there and watch it happen. According to the speculation online, she allegedly stepped in and threatened Karoline for it. And honestly, the way Trump has been publicly gushing over Karoline lately is what kicked all of this off, to the point where people weren't even debating it, they were just uncomfortable. Now, before anyone panics, nothing is confirmed. This is all speculation that's been spreading online. But at the same time, you can see why people are connecting dots, because Trump has a pattern, and this is exactly how it usually starts. Some people are even saying, don't be shocked if Karoline tried to baby trap Trump. Others are going further and questioning whether the child she had with Nicholas Riccio is even his at all. Because this isn't just about one compliment or rally, and if you know Trump's history, yeah, very familiar.
And you date beautiful women. You got Marla Maples, you got other various models, all models, true?
Well, not all models, but beautiful women. I tend to like beautiful women more than unattractive women. I don't know, maybe that makes me bad.
Join the club. And with this face, it's no problem getting beautiful women. When you got a mug like this, they all go for you. So in other words, you say to them, hey, I'll sleep with you. I'm Trump, I'm worth billions, I can change your life.
Now let's be real for a second. Trump has had multiple marriages, multiple public scandals, and somehow still managed to hold office. So if something like this were to blow up tomorrow, it's not like MAGA voters would suddenly pack it up and go home. We've already seen that nothing really shakes his base like that. So the real question isn't, would Trump survive this politically? It's, why does this keep happening the same way every time? Because let's rewind to Melania for a second. When Melania met Trump back in the day, he already had a date. That part always gets glossed over. She didn't walk into a clean situation. He was already with someone else, still flirting, still chasing, still doing what he does. And yet somehow, Melania still became the one.
The famous fashion week in
Were
New
you
York.
introduced?
Well, no, we were both at the same party, and that's how we met.
And yes, people still talk about the Epstein connection around that time, including rumors that Epstein and Melania were allegedly involved before she and Trump officially got together.
Epstein is quoted, and this is from an interview apparently in 2007, where he says that he had sex with Melania a full year before Donald Trump commenced his relationship.
Those are rumors, not confirmed facts, but they've never fully gone away either. And while that's a whole separate rabbit hole, it does add to the bigger picture of how messy Trump's personal timeline has always been. The point is, Melania didn't meet Trump during some calm, settled part of his life. She met him when things were already messy and complicated. And now people are saying she might be watching that same pattern play out again, just with a different woman. Because the way Trump has been publicly talking about Karoline Leavitt lately feels very obvious, very on display, and way more personal than it needs to be.
Should Karoline be replaced?
No. That's up to you, sir.
It'll never happen.
Nobody wants to.
I say she does a great job. Do you want to elaborate on the
And those lips, they move like a machine gun.
And that brings us to that rally. During a Pennsylvania rally that was supposedly about the economy, Trump somehow managed to turn the spotlight onto Karoline in a way that had social media stopping mid-scroll. Instead of staying on inflation or policy, he started praising her looks, her mouth, her presence on TV, going on in a way that didn't sound professional, political, or necessary. You could feel the crowd reacting, but not in a good way. More like that awkward laugh when someone says something and you're not sure if you're supposed to clap or cringe.
Isn't she great? Is Karoline great? You know, when she goes on television, Fox, they dominate. They dominate when she gets up there with that beautiful face and those lips that don't stop, up like a little machine gun.
And the thing is, people noticed that he wasn't hyping her work or her strategy. He was focused on her appearance, how she looks on camera, how she speaks, how she moves. That's when the comments started flooding in. One comment summed it up perfectly, saying, "This is a sick way for a man to talk about his employee, especially one who's more than 50 years younger than him." And that's really where the discomfort comes from, because this wasn't two people on the same level. This was a former president talking about a much younger woman who works in his political world, and that alone made people uneasy. Another person pointed out how the speech was supposed to be about the economy, but somehow turned turned into a weird mix of grievances, culture war talking points, and then suddenly, Karoline Leavitt's lips. Like, what are we doing here? And then my personal favorite comment that went viral, somebody come get grandpa, he's getting creepy. Because people weren't confused, they noticed it immediately. And if this were anyone else, the conversation would have ended there. But this is Trump, and with Trump, people don't just react, they connect dots. Because once you remember his history, the reaction makes sense. Trump's reputation has always been tied to that playboy image, the flashy lifestyle, the women, the rumors that never quite die. There was even that report about him trying to get Playboy magazine to run a Girls of Trump spread featuring his own employees. Yes, his employees. That came from a book written back in 1991. The idea was literally to parade women from his workplace, with different offers depending on how far they'd go. That tells you everything you need to know about how he's always viewed power, access, and women in his orbit. His marriage to Ivana didn't just quietly end. It imploded publicly when his affair with Marla Maples took over the tabloids. Ivana and Trump divorced in 1991, Marla and Trump married soon after the birth of their daughter, and even that didn't last. Then there's the Access Hollywood tape, the one he brushed off as locker room banter, the one that didn't end his career the way people thought it would.
Hey, when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the
You can do anything. Pull the handle.
Then Melania gives birth to Barron in 2006, and just months later, allegations surface about a sexual encounter with Stormy Daniels, then Karen McDougal, then hush money, then catch and kill stories, then media companies sitting on stories instead of publishing them. So when people look at Trump praising Karoline the way he did, they're not inventing context. They're reacting based on decades of pattern recognition, which is why Melania's silence has people talking, because Melania has never been loud. She doesn't react publicly, and historically, when she goes quiet, it's because she's not happy. People are now speculating that Melania allegedly warned Karoline to keep her distance. Nothing confirmed, but insiders are whispering that the tension behind the scenes is real, that Melania sees the writing on the wall because she's been on the other side of this story before, and the internet is ruthless about it. Some are saying Melania knows exactly how this starts. First the compliments, then the public praise, then the increased proximity, then suddenly she's everywhere, on stage, on TV, in his orbit, and next thing you know, the narrative shifts. And now add the baby speculation into the mix, and it gets even messier. People online are questioning timelines, relationships, and how fast everything moved. Again, no proof, just speculation. But speculation that's fueled by Trump's own behavior and history. And here's the uncomfortable part. Trump has never been subtle when he's interested in someone. He doesn't really hide it, and he never has. He shows it in how he talks, how much attention he gives, and how comfortable he gets. And when you've been married to someone like that, you pick up on those signs almost right away. So whether or not anything is actually happening between Trump and Karoline, the damage is already there. The perception is out. The comments are everywhere. And Melania is once again being put in a position where her husband's behavior becomes her problem to silently manage. And let's be honest, if this were any other political figure, the media would already be in full meltdown mode. But with Trump, the bar is so low that people almost shrug it off. So now the question is this just Trump being Trump, or are we watching the early stages of another very familiar storyline play out in real time? Because one thing is clear, people saw through that rally moment immediately. And once the internet starts asking questions like this, they don't stop.